Hello and welcome. Kevin Hurricane Hudson here. Today we're going to discuss the stretch kick. It's a dynamic stretch that'll help you get maximum flexibility out of those hips and hamstrings. So stay tuned and we'll show you some tips to help you do that. See you then. All right, now let's talk about the stretch kick. Now we do this stretch usually at the end of all of our stretching right at the beginning of class. And a couple things you need to know about. We're going to have Lori help us out here. A couple things you need to know. One, the stretch kick, obviously we're not kicking anyone, we're stretching. And the main thing we're stretching here is we're stretching our hamstrings, obviously our glutes, and our lower back. Okay, so we're working those areas. Now, the support leg you're standing on, I don't want you to really worry about which way it's facing or pointing. Just do whatever is comfortable for you. Now, so what I like, I'm going to tell her, all right, Miss Laura, let's put our hands up just like we're going to kick, and let's put our right hand out because we're going to stretch kick with our right leg. I always, number one, get a target. So you want to aim at a target. Now this way, this is your goal. Goals we set are what? Goals we get. So that's where we're going. So she's going to aim here, and the second key attribute of this is try to touch your toe to your finger. Not your finger to your toe, and not your finger to your leg. A lot of people, when they do the stretch kick, they'll touch their leg like this. They're not doing what they need to be doing. When they actuate that ankle bone or the ankle, they pull the toes back to them. They're trying to touch their toes to their finger. And what that does, that gives an extra stretch on the hamstring, the calf, all the way down into the Achilles heel, all the way down. So it's a really good stretch. So you try to touch your toe to your finger. You want to set this up as high as you're comfortable to start with and leave it there. And our goal is to raise it up a little higher as we go. So we're going to just do a couple stretch kicks together. All right, here we go. Ready? One. Good. And notice her toe went to her finger. She's not touching her shin bone to her finger or pulling her finger down to her toe. Okay, let's try it again. Two. Good. And we're not worried about the support leg. We're leaving it where it is. Physiologically, it'll go whichever way it wants to go, which is fine. Okay? So just make sure the toes are back. Ready? Three. Now, I always want to tell people, keep your eyes high. So keep your eyes up here. Don't look down at the floor because you'll be surprised when you start doing these. For some reason, you'll be looking down at the floor. And what that'll do is it'll obviously pull the, what you're trying to do, you're not going to get as good a stretch because you're looking at the floor. You can't do that. Just like kicking. If I'm kicking at her, I can't be looking at the floor because it's not going to work. So we're going to kick, and she's going to look straight ahead. Ready? One. Nice and high. Ready? Two. Good. And she can raise this higher as she goes. Another thing is breath control. I like to take a little deep breath here, and then as I stretch, I pull it up nice and high, and I breathe out. I exhale as my leg rises. Okay? Try that. Ready? One. Good. Ready? Two. Good. And see, this other hand stays up. We just want to get into the habit of one connecting, one protecting. I know this is not connecting to any one, but it's connecting to the toe. This is protection. Obviously, it's a good habit to get into. You got two hands. You got to keep one up to protect that brain. Okay, let's do it again. Ready? Three. Good. So this is just the forward stretch kick. So that works really well. If we do a sideways stretch kick, let's stand just like this. And what we're going to come over this way just a hair. We're going to do our right leg first. We'll let her do our right leg. She's going to fix her foot like a side kick on the floor. Okay. You see my foot just like this. And then when she does her sideways stretch kick, she's going to raise her leg straight up like so. So we're going to try this. Now this one, we don't put our hand out for a goal here just because sideways, laterally like this is a little difficult to do. We're stretching our adductors in the middle. We're stretching our hips a little bit. If you have an impingement feel right here when you do your stretch kick sideways, that's what we're working there as well. And we want to keep this other hand up nice and high. So she's going to go sideways, making sure she keeps her foot sideways as she does the stretch. Okay, ready? One. Good, very nice. Two. Good job. Ready? Three. Good. And then if we're going to do the other leg, watch this side over here. Same thing. Ready? One. Good. Two. Good. Three. Good. Now going sideways, like I said, we don't necessarily hold a hand out. We're just keeping our foot sideways. Because the kick we throw in martial arts is a side kick, we want to make sure our foot is sideways. That's super important. Now, the other stretch kick you can do is a rear stretch kick. Turn this way, please. Now, basically what we're going to do is look over our shoulder. Look over this shoulder here. And we'll do a stretch kick with our left leg straight back. Ready? One. Good. Two. Now, if you notice, this is a little difficult. Your knee wants to bend, which is fine. We're stretching our hip flexors right here, which is a great thing because a lot of times this is going to stop you from doing the splits. if these hip flexors are really tight, it's a very tough thing to loosen up. And in my program, Max Raw Flexibility, I have specific hip flexor stretches that you do on Monday, Wednesday, Friday to help you loosen these things up. So the rear stretch kick, you just want to look over your shoulder and just bring it up as high as you're comfortable, knee as straight as you can keep it. Ready? 1, 2, good. Now we do the other side. Same thing. You always want to look over the shoulder of the leg that you're swinging, okay? Ready? 1 and 2. Very nice, and relax. So that's kind of a summation of the stretch kicks. You got forward this way, you have sideways this way, and then you have the rear ones, which are straight back behind you. And keep in mind, breathing the whole time, breath control, super important while you're stretching. Remember we said one connected, one protected on the front, and on the sideways, you don't have to have a target out there, okay? So work on those tips, do your stretch kicks, and we'll see you in class next time. Thank you for watching. Remember, while you're here, subscribe to my channel and also like and share this video. Also, click the link below to get a couple of free tips about how to double your flexibility in just 30 days. Again, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in class next time.